This is a software utilities demonstration of DEI3093 with Raspberry Pi 3. These are the DEI3093 daughter card demo board hardware and Raspberry Pi 3 microcontroller board. After the completion of DEI3093 daughter card assembly, connect the keyboard and mouse to the USB port. Connect the monitor to HDMI port. Connect the Raspbian OS SD card to the slot underneath. Attach the DEI3093 daughter card on top the Raspberry Pi 3 microcontroller board via the 2x20 hat connector. Do not connect any USB drive before the system boot up. Connect the power and turn on the system.
This is the PCB layout graphic of the demo board. The DEI3093 RPi3 transceiver device is assembled on the demo board. It has one transmitter and two receivers. In this demo board, the transmitter is connected to both of the receivers. This is a data loopback setup. The DEI3093 operation is driven by SPI serial interface operation code, typically microcontroller via the SPI serial interface. In this case it is the Raspberry Pi 3 microcontroller board.
This is a software utilities demonstration of DEI3093 with Raspberry Pi 3. This software take a text file with some simple syntax and hexadecimal numbers transmit the equivalent binary bits to the SPI bus. The SPI bus is connected to DEI3093 transceiver. And this utility also read the binary bits output from DEI3093 and cover them to hexadecimal numbers and report them back to the screen or output text file.
For first and new Raspberry Pi setup, choose to install the Raspbian OS. This will take a while, could be more than 10 minutes. After setup completion, Raspberry Pi will boot up to Raspbian desktop. As shown in the picture. Use File Manager to download DEI3093 software files and folder via USB drive. Contact DEI for the software if you do not have them. Superscript.sh file is a startup script for the command prompt launch. This will auto-launch the DEI3093 whenever you activate the command prompt. The test folder contain the DEI3093 software and source code. The software is basically a hex code text to SPI binary data converter for DEI3093. You can review the code for your own software development to interface with DEI3093 device. Some of the downloaded files may not be recognized as executable file. Use the sudo super user do change mode to make the file executable. You can find more sample SPI scripts in the SPI folder. You can create your own input SPI script in the SPI folder.
In the SPI folder, stored multiple SPI input text files. These are examples of typical DEI3093 SPI operation examples. The out folder store the actual output log from the device after the DEI3093 utility software execution.
Now we open the USPI input file and look at the syntax in SPI hexadecimal code. To understand the DEI3093 SPI hex code, please review the DEI3093 datasheet. You can find a copy of the datasheet from DEIAZ.com website. The syntax of SPI equal to 0x followed by hex code byte values. The software covered the text to SPI binary data and communicate with DEI3093 accordingly. The first byte is always a write command byte, followed by write bytes or read bytes. The wait syntax is useful for adding delay in between SPI codes. This is very useful when waiting for data transmission. For the RPi3 data is much slower than SPI. However, the wait delay has significant delay variation, dependent on the processor speed and workload. The pause syntax will stop the script execution till a keyboard respond to continue. This is useful when one need to evaluate certain signal at the midpoint status of the script execution.
The software utility is run via command prompt. Here are some limited examples of the commands for the command prompt. You can review the .sh files for other useful commands. Have a wonderful time to experiment with the DEI3093 functions. Thank you for your interest of the product of DEI.